I'm here with favorites video for the month of September. I like to do these at the end of the month. I feel like I don't really buy a lot, but it's just nice to talk about, some of the decks I've been working with or books I've been reading, or, sometimes I do get some things. And this time of year, because it's fall and there's a lot of Halloween and spooky stuff out, I do tend to get a few more things. I don't go as nuts as some people would do. I wouldn't say nuts. I would say I don't collect as much as maybe some other people do, but I do definitely find some spooky finds and things that I really, really love that really just speak to my gothy heavy metal type heart. So I'm going to first talk about card decks and books and like metaphysical stuff. And so if you're here just for that, then you can, click off. And then after that, I'm going to do like some kind of like homeware stuff I got. And I think I have like one clothing article, that kind of thing. So, if you're just interested in one or the other, then, you can watch as appropriate. One of my favorite things right off the bat is the Facebook group that I have. I'm going to put the link down below. It is an open group, meaning that I have two groups. There's one for my Patreons and one for just all of you that watch me. There's like 3 questions to answer. If you don't answer questions, I don't approve, and it's just because to show, like, there's some people who just go around collecting groups, right? But it's to show that, you are somebody who's actually interested in witchy stuff and creativity or tarot or astrology or any of those type things. And it's a really great group because a lot of people are pretty active on it, and everyone's like really great. On Saturday, I do a thread for people to share their websites and their channels and blogs and whatever you're doing. And then on Sunday, I do like a prayer kind of thread where if you need prayers or positive vibes, I like candle for people, and just post like interesting articles that I just find around the net and stuff. So it's kind of a fun group. So if you want to join it. And this is one of my favorite things, just right off the bat. So let's get in with the metaphysical type stuff first. So this month I've been working with the Dark Mansion Tarot, and this is one of those decks that I saw online and I just thought looked really, really cool, and I just had to have it. And it was, it's a bit more of a pricey deck because it is an independent deck creator that made this. It's Tarot Deca Studios in Poland. I was super surprised how fast this came, considering it was coming just by, mail from Poland. I wasn't expecting it for weeks and weeks, and it showed up much earlier than I thought. Everything from, like, I really love the box design. It's really nice to have a little box to keep it in, and the quality of the cardstock, and just how beautiful the colors and everything is. So I love the back. I love that the edge is in black too. It's just a nice touch. And I love this style of artwork, and I love the rich jewel tone colors. It's a really fun deck, and I thought it was perfect for this month and perfect for fall. Just because it's got that Tim Burton-y kind of vibe that, kind of lends to the spooky season. I know it's not everybody's thing, but it's definitely one of my things. I love that creepy, cute kind of stuff. I'm not into like horror that's like gory or over the top, I just really like sort of creepy, cute things. Very sweet. And there's kind of a Victorian, Edwardian type vibe to a lot of the depictions and the drawings. And I love all the little skeletons. It just really speaks to me, and I really love it. And like I said, the quality of the cardstock's really nice. It's that matte, but it's not like that. There's some of the matte card decks kind of stick together, or they're not as easy to shuffle, but this one it shuffles like a dream. So I really love this. It doesn't come with a book, so I don't think it's a good beginner's deck unless you want to get a book with it, like buy a beginner's type tarot book. But I think for those who are experienced, they can definitely work with this, and it is based off the Rider-Waite-Smith system. So I think, as long as you have some experience, you can work really well with this deck. And I love like the gold touches. It's a really well done deck. So I'm very happy to be working with that. The other one that I did get this month, I haven't had a chance to work with it too much, but I'm really just enjoying the artwork, is the Everyday Witch Oracle by Elizabeth Alba, who did the Everyday Witch Tarot, which is one of my favorite decks. So when I saw she had an Oracle deck coming out, I was like, oh, I'm going to get that. Again, like it's got like this nice box feels very nice. There's something about the texture of it. It doesn't have a really big guidebook or anything, but what is there is, to the point and informative. You don't need lots of pictures and stuff. The artwork on this deck is just stunning. I love the back with the 4 cats. It's so cute. This deck does not read with reversals, so it doesn't really matter that the 4 cats are different, but just the colors on set. It is shiny. This is a Llewellyn deck, so it is shiny. I don't mind glossy finishes. I know some people really don't like them, but I don't mind them at all. Cardstock's okay, because it is a bigger card. It does feel a little, some people might say it feels a little flimsier, but I think it's really great for shuffling. And I like to use oracle cards as kind of a wrap up in the reading, like an overall tone or an extra piece of advice. It's just great artwork. Yeah, I just love it. It's a very whimsical, very colorful. I tend to like quite colorful decks. And it's very fun. And again, I've said this before, it's very 90s craft, silver Ravenwolf, youthful. It's like that. It's just gorgeous. Like the colors in there are just amazing. And this is a very positive deck. Like oracle decks do tend to be very, very positive, which is kind of why I like to use them in readings, like as a wrap up, because sometimes it's just like a really nice way to end a reading and to put a positive focus on things, and a more spiritual type focus. I tend to see them as a little more spiritual than, say, not that tarot cards aren't spiritual, but I feel like the tarot really gets into the psychology of things, and sometimes the day-to-day type practical stuff, whereas oracle cards that kind of give you that spiritual tone. I kind of see them as the icing on the cake of the reading, so to speak. But I'm really enjoying this, enjoying the artwork. So I am going to probably use this as an oracle deck of the month, not this month, next month, but coming up at some point. So I will be using this in daily draws. And I think at that point I'll have a little bit more, when I've worked with it more, a little bit better view to tell you about how it goes day to day. Now the other deck I got, which I was so glad to get, was the Mythic Tarot. Now this is not the first edition, but it is the old version. That this is the blue backing. There's an original one with the black backing. I didn't care about that. I just cared about the artwork. There's the new Mythic Tarot, but the artwork, quite frankly, isn't as good. I just love this deck. To me, this is just like a soul deck. It's a home deck. I just love this, and I'm so glad to have this back in my collection. It did have the app on my phone, but it just wasn't the same. I'm not really into using apps. I like to have the physical copy here, and I just think it's wonderful. And to go with that, this is a pretty special deck to me, and so my wonderful hubby made me from scratch a beautiful box to put it in. You can see it's got like the finger joints on there. It's this beautiful wood. It just looks wonderful. And then it opens up, like he measured out the cards and everything. And just beautiful wood that he varnished and that he made for me. He does make these on order, so if you do want a deck, you can contact, or a deck. If you do want a box for a deck, a wooden box, contact me, because he does make these. And I just think it's beautiful and lovely and really, really sweet that he did it like a surprise for me, which was really nice. I came home one day and there's this little box sitting there, and I'm like, oh, and it fits my deck perfectly. So really, really thrilled about that. That was a really lovely, thoughtful gift. What I've been reading, I have been reading the Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. However, I do have some issues with it. I was going to do like a fiction-y witchy book club, but I've got a lot of stuff going on that kind of fell through, so I hope no one's disappointed. But I have been just like reading that, and then I've also been reading this, which is The Positive Shift by Catherine A. Sanderson, PhD. Now, it's a book about positivity, but it's not one of those trite books that's like, just think nice things and everything will be better, which is, kind of a load of crap. This is more about, it's from sort of a scientific point of view, where it talks a lot about studies that, what makes people more resilient, what makes people happier, studies like that. And it's, everything from, apparently, if you read books, like fiction books, you're happier. Yeah, going outside, and it's some of them seem obvious, like going outside or being around nature makes people happier than being around concrete and an urban environment all the time. But these are like studies that actually kind of back this up. Things like meditating makes people happier, not comparing ourselves to others. Things like talking about how Facebook tends to make people unhappy, things like that. So it's a very interesting book, and I'm loving all the colors on the cover, I can't deny. So that's what I've been reading this month. As for other things, first of all, I was going to show you the t-shirt I got from the Iron Maiden concert last month that I went to. I love it. As you can see, it is stained glass windows with many, many Eddies on him in his different versions, which I love. Everything from, he's like got the Trooper there, and Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, Number of the Beast, Power Slave. And then the back has a wonderful beast on the back. So it is all of my heavy metal, just heavy metal loveliness on here. Whenever I go to concert, I like to get a t-shirt. And they had so many good t-shirts, like Iron Maiden t-shirts are awesome and amazing. And so that was my favorite though, because it had the many, many Eddies in stained glass form, which I love and is wonderful. So spooky things. So first of all, I got this beautiful cup from Starbucks. They do have like a Halloween type line. At first I wanted the tumbler that had, there's a black one with sort of black studs on it, and I couldn't find it anywhere. But I'm glad I didn't, because then I saw this and I was like, no, this is much better. It's got like cats and moths and fall leaves and candles, like all the things I love all year round, skulls, crows, snakes. It's beautiful. And it looks just like a black tumbler on the outside, but if you open it up, I don't know if you could see on here. Oh, you can't. It looks black. It's actually like a dark purple. Oh, you can't see in this light. Well, maybe a little bit. It's actually like a really dark purple, and it kind of has this purpley like glow to it almost, which you can't. Oh, you can see a little bit because there's a little water in the bottom. Okay, anyway, believe me, it's got a purpley, it's actually a really dark purple, which I love. So it is wonderful, and I've been drinking lots of water. It's been encouraging me to drink water, and it is spooky and wonderful, and I love that. I also went to Bath and Body Works, and I needed soap, like antibacterial soap for the kitchen. I was out, and they had so many spooky ones that I had to get a bunch. I mean, had to, right? So first of all, this is Spells Divine. It's got a little witch on there. And this one is, you can tell I'm getting older because I got to do this when I read tiny print with my contacts on. This one's kind of like an apple and some other kind of lily. It's got an apple leaf floral type scent. Yeah, it's really nice. Really, it's got like a gentle, to me this is a very springy type scent. And then I've got here, I don't want to knock stuff over, Halloween. This is a lemon one. So you've got the little skeleton dog and his little pumpkin there. Very cute. So yeah, this one is like a lemony citrus one. So very nice, clean kind of scent. And then we've got, of course, you've got to have a pumpkin one. This is perfect pumpkin with a little cat on the front. So nice. So this is like a pumpkin spice type smell. I know people get down on pumpkin spice, but I love pumpkin spice. So why wouldn't I have soap that's pumpkin spice? And then there's this one is Ghoul Friends. So it's got the little kind of, I don't know, a little bit Day of the Dead, but it also makes me think of Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. And this one is strawberry. Yeah, so it's like a strawberry type scent, this one. And then last but not least, this one isn't too Halloweeny, but I had to get it because it says unicorn on it, and it's a unicorn with a candy corn on it. And this is kind of like a candy corn type smell. So Halloweeny stuff, I love it. I know most of you that watch love that kind of stuff too. So, every time I just find little things, I go and get them. So I hope that you've had a wonderful September. I'm hoping to find a few more spooky type fun things in the month of October, but I hope you've had a wonderful